Hey guys, it's Jess from BehatiLife. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the full moon in Scorpio that's going to be happening on April 22nd or April 21st, depending on where you're at. However, I'm going to be going into some serious detail about what is astrologically going on in the planets and in the galaxy, in the universe right now. Why? Number one, because I've been getting a lot of emails from a lot of my followers on Instagram and from readers from my blogs asking me like, Jess, what is going on? There's all this change and transformation. I'm so uncomfortable. I don't feel good. It seems like the shit is hitting the fan. Like all different types of stuff is going on. And they all want to know why. And this is just to answer globally our question of what the heck is going on. And then also to go into detail, of course, about this upcoming full moon. So, let's take a deep breath before we get started. Let's take a deep breath because there has been a lot going on, and I can read it in your emails and in your messages and direct messages on Instagram. It has been a lot. So, before I get started, I do want to say if you see me looking downwards, it's because I'm looking at my iPad. I have what is the chart of the moment of this full moon that's coming up on April 22nd. I've been reading astrology and tarot for many years, but what I like to do, of course, is to read the chart intuitively. It is a science, but more than that, it's science and intuition merged together. So I just kind of follow my vibes with what it is that I see that's going on and do my best to explain it in simple terms, because what is the point of me making a video if you don't know what it is that I'm saying? It's not going to help you if you don't get my message, if you don't understand my message. So, and I have a few notes here that I wrote down to help me so that I don't miss anything. So let's get started. One of the first things that I'm seeing before I even go into this full moon is the fact that there are many planets that are going retrograde or already are retrograde, depending on what time it is that you're watching this video. So Mars is one of the first planets to go retrograde. Now Mars rules our ambition and our aggression and how we go about attaining things and our drive and our motivation, so to speak. It's kind of like if you think of like a space shuttle or a spaceship, and they have all of you turn the spaceship on, and then the engines fire, and there's fire that shoots out from behind the space shuttle and just kind of launches it up into the air. So this is essentially what Mars is to us in our day-to-day lives. Now, depending on where Mars falls in your own personal natal chart, it kind of shows the energy of how you go about shooting through things, how you move through things, what gets you, how you go about achieving something or accomplishing something. So when Mars is direct, it just kind of moves the way that it does in order to kind of play out the energy of how you would go about doing something. But when Mars is retrograde, those engines, they start to turn off, and it asks us, number one, to kind of chill back a little bit and to go back and look at all of the things that we have tried to initiate and the things that we've tried to start. Now, for me, it's so interesting that I'm doing this today because Mars actually goes retrograde today, the 17th, and this is the exact time that I'm making this video. Now, this YouTube channel and talking about the planets and talking about the planets going retrograde and the full moons and the new moons and all of this other information was something that I started a long time ago. But then because of business with BehatiLife or stuff going on in my personal life, it ended up taking a back burner, which is not something that I wanted to do. But here I am now going back to it and returning to it and then putting more energy and more effort into my project, my baby, which is my channel and my business. So this is the same thing that it's kind of asking for you, is kind of going back to the areas in our lives that we've kind of neglected, things that we originally were so excited about and so pumped about, but we kind of had to move away from them or put our energy in other areas so that it ended up that this area of our lives was completely neglected or didn't get what it needed in order to thrive and to build into something bigger and better. Especially in regards to your passion projects, because again, remember, Mars rules our passion. and the things that get us fired up and excited. And I don't know if you can feel it, but I'm excited to talk to you today. So it's really working for me. Is this the best time to start new projects? Probably not, because what ends up happening with Mars retrograde is that these new projects, they kind of end up fizzling and burning out later on down the line. But if you feel called to do it, and you feel intuitively, if you feel moved to do something, absolutely do it. Don't ever worry about the future and like, what if I give up, or what if I don't follow through with this. Life is a journey, and there's going to be many things that you start and that you don't complete, and there's always the opportunity for you to finish them in the future. Okay, so that's something to be aware of. Another thing that I want to say with Mars going retrograde is sometimes Mars rules a little bit of aggression. Now, I've heard some astrologers say that when Mars, the day that it kind of is ready to go retrograde, it's kind of a weird period where the aspects of that planet kind of heighten and show themselves. So for some people, you may have aggression or be angry or say things that you don't mean, or spit out things in a way that you're just like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. That's something that's possible, but I don't really hear about that so much. I don't really see that in my day-to-day life when I'm doing astrology readings for people. I don't hear them saying that, but that's something that I've heard and I've read and I've learned that can happen when a planet is just about to turn retrograde, when a planet is going from direct to retrograde motion. So that's just something to be aware about. The next thing that I'm looking at, the next thing that I'm looking at is Pluto. So I don't know if I want to talk about Pluto first or Saturn first, because both of these guys, you know what, they don't get enough credit. Like Mercury, when everyone hears, oh my God, Mercury's going retrograde, everyone's like, oh God, oh my God. Like everyone starts freaking out when Mercury goes retrograde. But I can guarantee you, Mercury is just like a tiny little like bump in the road compared to Saturn and Pluto. When these planets go retrograde, I mean, it can really, I don't want to say do some damage, but it will leave a mark. Okay, and that's what it's supposed to do. That's what it's designed to do, is to leave a mark. Let's see if we're still recording. Okay, good, we are. Okay, so anyways, I don't know which one to start first, but and I promised myself I wasn't going to make this video too long, because if you're like me, you might have a short attention span, so I'll do my best to try and like power through this and just explain it to you as best as possible. But there's just so much that I want to talk about, and there's been so much that I've been neglecting to tell you, and I'm ready to tell you right now. So, okay, so Pluto is retrograde right now, and I don't remember exactly when this planet went retrograde this year, but I do know that it was recent, and that it's retrograde now. Now, Pluto rules transformation, and it rules our sense of renewal and sense of rebirth, and it represents the subconscious and the areas that are hidden, the things that we wouldn't really know, the subconscious, the things that we can't really put our finger on, but they exist and they impact us. So Pluto being direct, it's, wherever it moves, Pluto is the slowest moving planet, so you don't really feel it on a day-to-day basis unless it's affecting your personal planets, or if you see like slow change going on in your life. So this could be, let's say if Pluto's moving through your 7th house of partnerships, your relationships for years are constantly going through change and transformation, and pushing you to explore the subconscious areas of your mind through your relationships. You're going to learn so much about yourself through your relationships, interestingly enough, and it just pushes you and challenges you in the way that you have to grow and you have to self-evaluate. So that's, so Pluto moves through each of these houses very, very slowly, and you're going to want to check your personal chart, your natal chart, to see how that is affecting you, and where Pluto is currently transiting. Transiting means moving through the area of your chart, which represents an area of your life, of your life. So when Pluto goes retrograde, those areas of growth that we've already moved through we have to kind of go back. So what's the best way to say this without freaking you out? I'm just kidding. But I'm trying to think of the best way to talk about, giving you an example of this. So if Pluto has a bad reputation of just kind of like killing and destroying anything that's negative within your life. So that's not to scare you. That's not to say that, you know, you're going to die or something in your life is going to die. However, there is the potential for things to end. Now, that could be anything. That could be relationships. That could be career. That could be an unhealthy way of living your life. Like things like that. So let's say Pluto is moving really, really slowly through an area of your life. And then, boop, it starts to go retrograde. So it's just left a trail of things that it wanted to get rid of. And Pluto asks you, okay, this needs to go, this needs to go, this needs to be removed. You need to get rid of this. It's time for you to let go of this. This isn't working for you. Remove it, cleanse it, purify it. Let's get it, get it out. So it's getting rid of all of these bigger issues and cleaning out and cleansing all of these bigger issues of your life. When it goes retrograde, it asks you to go back and to go over all of those things that have already happened or things that we've missed just in our day-to-day life. And it asks you again to, okay, here's a wound. And you didn't know that this was here, but we need to clear out this infection. Now, this could be a physical thing like in the body, or it can be a metaphor for something that's going on in your life. So let's say if you're in a relationship that's not working out and that doesn't feel well and feels toxic, or it used to be good but now it's no longer good, it asks you to go back over that and to see what doesn't feel good. And anywhere where you find pain is where you'll find the wound, and anywhere where you find the wound is where you'll find a spot that needs to be healed. Now, anything that is a wound will not feel good. It will feel that like there's pain there, and you have to address it. You can't just keep putting Band-Aids over it and pretending that it's going to be better, or that one day, the pain and the hurt and the ache will go away. It's not. It's going to get infected, and it can spread in other areas of your life. Now, this could be legit, something that's happening in your body, or this could be a metaphor for something that's happening in your life. So just kind of, number one, see where Pluto is moving through your planets. And if you want to, comment below. I'm more than welcome. I'm more than happy to help you kind of look into what house rules what and how it'll be affecting you. I'm not going to go into a full reading. If you want to do a full astrology or tarot reading, we can do that. But basically right now, this is just a general reading of how Pluto is affecting you and how it's moving and what that means when it goes retrograde. So why is this a doozy? Because the process can be painful. And a lot of you guys are noticing that you're feeling pain in your life, and you're feeling, you feel like you're suffering. You feel like there's aches or heartache, or I like a message I got the other day was just, I felt like I got rid of this. I felt like I moved past this, and now here it is in my face again, and I'm so defeated. I'm so deflated, and I don't know what to do. And this is exactly what Pluto is asking you to do, is to go back over these points again and to readdress them and to heal them. And don't beat yourself up throughout this, okay? Like, be your biggest advocate, be your biggest healer, and working for you, and cheerleader, and rooting for you. Don't add to the fire and add to the pain by making yourself feel bad about yourself or beating yourself up. That's not necessary, and that's not what this planet is asking you to do or guiding you to do. It's just asking you to be aware and to spend some time on those areas that hurt and to nurture them, to be gentle, to bring them back into a place where it feels good and it's healthy and it's healing. Okay, that's what we want. So the other thing is, if you need help with that, definitely email me. I'm an empowerment coach, and I work with emotional healing all the time. You can always reach me at BehatiLife@gmail.com or my website, BehatiLife. But moving on. So the next thing that we're talking about, that I'm going to talk about today, is Saturn retrograde. So Saturn is currently, Saturn rules structure, stability, being mature, learning lessons. Even if you are an adult, even if you're 50 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old, Saturn will still show you ways that you can be mature or do things better. Saturn wants you to do things in a way that better maximizes your time, better maximizes your resources, and creates a stable environment for you to rest upon so that you can create and build more upon what you already have. So Saturn creates this structure, this area, this platform for you to lean on. And if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be able to build, because if the platform is not strong, then no matter what it is that you ever could imagine that you could create, it's going to collapse inwards, because the base of the foundation was never strong to begin with. So that's what Saturn asks you to work on. Am I still recording? Yes, I'm still recording. Okay. Sorry, I have to keep on checking because sometimes my camera poops out on me and I'm just like, what? Anyways, so so that's what Saturn does, is it really tests you. It tests you, it challenges you, it asks you, how badly do you want this? What is your plan for getting this? Yeah, you said you want this. Yes, you set the intention, but what is your plan in order to get it into motion step by step, or just in general? How do you see this coming about? And I need you to work hard. I need you to be committed. I need you to be dedicated in order for you to actually bring this momentum or bring this blessing into your life. If you don't do this, you will be punished. You will be challenged. You will struggle. You will be disappointed. You will be frustrated. You will be burnt out. And the only reason why I'm doing this is to make you be the best you that you can be. That's what Saturn is for, and that's what it's pretty much doing as it moves through the areas of your chart. So if you see me doing this with my hands, it's because these hands represent your entire natal chart in the astrology chart. Anyways, okay, so when Saturn goes retrograde, it kind of pumps the brakes again, just like Mars, and says, all right, we have to go back again. Slowly, we're going to ease back. Okay, what is it that you've missed? What is it that you still need to grow? Where do you still need to mature and recommit yourself? What commitments have you made in the past that you now need to look back and reassess and reevaluate if this is something that you want to stay committed to, or if it's time for you to kind of cut that and let it go, let that fish go, and work on something else. And that requires maturity for you to be able to make that ultimate decision, because an immature person tries to hold and hoard all of these things and all of this stuff and responsibilities, and I can do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. But what ends up happening is they end up overextending themselves, and they can't do everything that they wanted to do. And even if they could, it wouldn't be the best work that they can do, because they've expended their energy in all these different areas, and they have only a small percentage of their energy and resources and talent to go into each thing, and it just would be a less than, if you're gonna do something, make sure that you can put all of your energy and effort into it. I myself am notorious for this. I will stick my fingers in a whole bunch of different puddings and then just be like, oh, I can get them all going, when in reality it's just like, Jess, you were really excited, and now it's time for you to pump the brakes and then ask yourself, am I committing myself? Am I overcommitting myself? Am I taking on too much? And if I choose to do this, then what areas of my life are going to suffer? So that's pretty much what Saturn is asking. Now, Saturn can really wreak havoc. I'm going to say this. It's like the planet that kind of punishes us. It's the parent planet that says, you know what, if you don't do this, you're not going to get this. If you don't take care of yourself, you will become sick. If you neglect your relationships, they will leave you. If you don't work hard in your work, and if you don't commit yourself to your work, or if you don't put in the hard work into your work, you'll lose your job, you'll lose your resources, you'll lose your business. So this is where a lot of people right now are being challenged and starting to feel the effects of this planet this planet testing you right now. And it shows up in so many different areas. When this showed up in my 6th house, I had a lot of issues with my stomach before that I was completely neglecting. When Saturn entered into my 6th house of health, and my day-to-day life and my diet, it just was like, it knocked me out, guys. It knocked me out. It really did. I was like, I ended up having to go to the doctors. I've got, doctor's appointments that I have to take care of next week and the week after that. But if I didn't go through, and I'll actually tell you about this, because in my past video, this is a side note, in one of my past videos, I don't remember what the name of the video is, but I will link it below. I actually had a prediction about my health and our health as a general. And I know that that's confusing to hear, but I did make a serious prediction, and I had a very strong and clear message about what it is that I needed to do, and I didn't do it. And right, like just like clockwork, right when I said it would happen, and like in regards to the health, is exactly how it happened, with perfect timing. There's no coincidences, and pretty much it changed everything for me. It changed my entire way of life and how I'm gonna live. And if I would have taken heed to that message the moment that I heard it, I would not have had to be in pain and to suffer the way that I did when Saturn went into my 6th house. So I will absolutely link the video before, but it was a live Periscope session that I did, and this was when I was more on Periscope. Am I still recording? Okay, good. It was a live Periscope session that I did, that I kind of just randomly got this information that I got intuitively, and I knew the message. I knew that it was for me. I knew that it was for all of us, and I neglected it, and I didn't follow it, and then I felt the effects of it a few months later. That must have been like 4 or 5 months ago. So maybe look back and see that video from 4 or 5 months ago. I actually made it on my iPad. It was recorded on my iPad. It was like the weirdest video that I've ever made, but it was a really powerful, intuitive message that I received that, obviously, like I said, I kind of neglected. Okay, so moving on. All right, I think we're ready. I think we're ready to talk about the full moon in Scorpio, which is what this video was originally supposed to be all about. So, Scorpio. Scorpio is a very, very passionate, very secretive, very subtle, very private, I don't want to say dark, but it's just a very exclusive sign. And I like Scorpio. I like them because they're passionate. I like them because they are protective. It's an amazing sign in general. So we have the moon sitting in Scorpio. Now, a full moon, I'm going to say this every time I'm talking about full and new moons. A full moon represents the moon is completely filled with light because of the reflection of the sun. But basically what happens is that the sun kind of blasts its light onto the full moon, which shows that all the secrets of the moon are completely exposed. So this is a largely significant time for things coming to completion, things becoming exposed, things ending, things coming to like a head, culmination. All the work that we've put forward, now we start to see the benefits and the results of it. And I always say this, like when I'm doing my readings and when I'm talking to you guys about the full and new moons, it's no coincidence that everyone acts like a crazy nut show when it's a full moon. It's because nothing is left hidden. Like the faces that we normally keep in order to protect ourselves and to make us look good in front of others just completely get stripped away, and you just see everybody's crazy, like all different types of crazy. So, so just this full moon in general, it kind of, number one, when the moon is full, it really connects with our emotions. And Scorpio is such an emotional sign, and it's not a sign that really kind of talks about those emotions. They kind of hold on to them and understand them and keep them private and exclusive. So when the full moon is when the moon is lit up by the sun and you have the full moon just kind of like heightened in this heightened state in Scorpio, I kind of feel like this is the time to share the things that you've been feeling. And now this isn't just for Scorpios, this is for everybody, because every single one of every person, every human being that's walking the space of this earth, you have Scorpio somewhere in your chart. And and so this is just a general reading for everybody. If you want a one-on-one private reading, then we can do that. Absolutely. Email me, BehatiLife@gmail.com, and we'll get that started. But for right now, this is a general reading. For a general population, a general public. So the moon moving through Scorpio, it kind of, to me, the first thing that I'm thinking about is, number one, you're going to want to see where Scorpio falls in your personal chart, in your natal chart. Is it in your 1st house, your 5th house, your 6th house, 7th house of partnerships, 6th house of health, 5th house of relationships, romance and sex, creativity, your 12th house of subconscious, 9th house of travel? Like where does this fall in your chart? But however, this connects to emotions, and I feel like this is the time for us to choose to selectively outpour the things that we've been feeling. Now, I don't know if this means that you're going to journal about them, journal about your feelings, somewhere private, or share them with someone special. But again, this is a very exclusive, very sacred, private sign, a very private, private full moon. However, I do want us to be aware of, I do want us to be aware of our healing and the areas of our lives that we've kind of kept hidden and kind of kept away from the things that we don't really talk about and the things that we don't really address. Because again, Scorpio is a planet that does want to cleanse and clean out. It's connected to Pluto, and it's connected to Mars. Originally they, I can't remember if it's, I'm sorry guys, I can't remember if Pluto rules Scorpio now, or if it's Mars that rules Scorpio now, or if it's old time Pluto that rules. I think it's Pluto is ruled by Mars now, and it was originally ruled by Mars. But either way, Scorpio is connected to Mars and Pluto, and both of these planets are retrograde, and they work together in order to cleanse out. And just because the moon is full and because emotions are so heightened and brought to our attention, I really want us to be aware of the things that we are feeling and the things that are kind of being brought up to the surface, and work on a plan, a gentle plan, a nurturing plan, something that doesn't create more pain and suffering, but actually works to help us to heal ourselves and to feel better. But a plan in order to kind of deal with whatever it is that kind of bubbles up. Now, this could be a very positive full moon for a lot of people, but I think for many, many people, it's going to be a very emotional full moon. And I just want us to take this seriously and to make our spaces sacred and to honor that and to honor our silence and honor our intimate relationships with others and with ourselves, to journal and to capture what shows up and to heal it and to nurture it back into health and to make sure that you feel good. And if it's connected to relationships or work, it's just kind of asking you, like, how can I do things better? What have I learned from the things that have happened in the past? How do I, instead of going for something now, that's kind of like the big message that I'm getting is this isn't really more of like diving into starting something. It's more of reviewing how things have been and how far we've changed and what we want and how we're going to go about transforming and healing the places that are still kind of open and festering and kind of wounded, and turn that into something that is fruitful and that kind of like clearing out the muck and respecting it and trusting that what is coming forward in the future and these changes and transformations that are happening in our lives, because again, Pluto rules transformation and change and revolution and renewal and rebirth, and Mars shows the effort and the energy to get that going. I just want us to kind of like look at what shows up and to journal it and to capture it, to honor it, and make sure that you realize that it's sacred, to not fight yourself, to not beat yourself up, to not say, well, why is this coming up again? Have I not learned? Have I not done anything? It's not about that. It's about continuing to grow and continuing to learn. That's why we're all here on Earth, especially in regards to love for others, and especially for ourselves. Okay, so the other thing that I'm seeing here too is Venus, which is a planet that represents like our affection, the things that we find beautiful, the things that we love, the things that we value. It's sitting right on top of Mars, and it's sitting in Aries, which is connected again to the Mars planet because Aries rules Mars. Well, Mars rules Aries. Yeah. So she's sitting right on top of Uranus, which kind of creates this, the first thing that I see is just kind of independence. What do I want? What do I need? What do I need to thrive? What do I need to feel good? What is it that I've been asking for? What is the things that how do I tweak the things that I've been doing in order to get what it is that I want? how have I been going for the things that I've wanted? What areas have I been neglecting? What areas do I need to change and be innovative and to think of things differently and to put my priorities and to put my what is important to me first and foremost? How do I do that? How do I go about doing that? So those are some things that I'm just kind of like seeing right off the bat and that are connected to it. And it also shows like a bit of a power struggle between Uranus, which is a planet of doing things your own way, innovation, thinking like outside of the box completely, surprises, changing things completely. It's hitting Pluto at a hard angle, and Pluto again represents transformation, and it's now retrograde. So because it's in a hard angle, it kind of challenges us. Now, what I mean by hard angle, it means that in the planet, that like in the universe, how it's sitting, it's the two energies of these planets are having a hard time kind of working together. They're kind of more like abrasive and aggressive with each other, rubbing against each other the wrong way. So it's hard for these two energies of these planets to kind of come together. And then you factor in Venus, who's a more gentle planet, and right now she's a little uncomfortable, but she's passionate, but she's a little uncomfortable. So it's just, for me, the first thing that I'm getting from this by looking at that is, you know what, it's good to work with others and it's good to have a relationship that you love, but it's good to do these things that are, you know, that are part of your goals and your long-term vision. But at the same time, I do see a lot of people having to break away from something and to do things their own way as a part of their greater evolution and their greater transformation. And if you suppress this, it's just going to bottle you up. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be good for you in the long haul. It's something that would be detrimental if you decided to keep on walking forward and pretending that you didn't have these feelings and that these feelings didn't exist. So yeah, I really want us to take that serious. Now, I know a lot of you are just like, wow, this is really heavy. This is really heavy, Jess. Is there any positive? Actually, all of this is really positive because all of this is pointing us in the direction of growth and of positive transformation. But if you want to see a golden thumbs up from the universe that everything is good and everything is golden and it's all going to make sense in the end, we have a beautiful trine, and a trine is where three planets are sitting, working together really beautifully and just kind of exchanging their best energies and their best effort into each other. And you have Jupiter, which is a planet of expansion and blessings, and it wants to give to you, it wants to give you gifts and fun stuff. You have the planet Mercury, which rules communication and thoughts and the way that things run. And then you have Pluto, again, retrograde, which represents transformation. So if you put all those together, you have all this transformation, all these thoughts and these things that you're thinking and the way that you're expressing yourself and the way that you're thinking your thoughts and journaling these things and capturing these moments, these blessings that are coming into your life. And especially since Jupiter is sitting in Virgo, you have all these blessings that are kind of wanting to pour themselves into your world through, even though all of this transformation and volcanoes are exploding like in your personal lives. So is it a lot? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. Is it going to be okay? Yes. All right. So that pretty much sums it up. I don't know how long this video is. I don't know if I was talking for an hour or 30 minutes. Oh, before I go, I do make lunar oils for each and every new moon and full moon. BehatiLife is now back in the BehatiLife Apothecary is now open. And there's a whole bunch of new additions. One of the new additions that I'm going to be creating for this full moon in Scorpio is going to be, let me see, I actually took notes. Okay, so for these intention oils, let me back up, I got excited. So every full and new moon, And certain areas, certain times of the year, I'll make special oils. And these oils are for setting intentions. These oils are for putting on your skin and in your hair, and for blessings, putting in your bath water. It's great for those who like to set intentions and carry those intentions with them. The one that I'm holding right now is, I believe this is a Love and Attraction oil. It's one of the smaller bottles. This is sample size. It's now just recently introduced into the shop this week. So today is April 17th. This is the travel size bottle. This is the full bottle, which is like way more than this one. But pretty much what you do with these bottles is use them to set intentions to wear every day, or to put them in your hair, to deep condition your hair, to put them in your tub. Each one is Reiki charged. I put so much loving TLC and attention and positive vibrations into each bottle that I do. This is something that I strongly believe in. And this full moon, I'm going to be doing another one for the sign of Scorpio. Now, you do not have to be a Scorpion. You do not have to be the sign of Scorpio in order to enjoy the benefits. This is for everybody. If you love essential oils and you like aromatherapy and those types of things, if you want to capture the energy that's going on in the universe now and bring some good vibes to help you navigate through the craziness that is in the galaxy, or if you want to capitalize on that, then each bottle that I make during that full moon or new moon time, so in this case it'll be the 22nd of April at 1:23 in the morning, on a Friday. So those will be available the day after. I will be making bottles that day. So for the Scorpio full moon, I'm going to be including roses in there, which are connected to love and self-care and luxury and taking care of the self. Calendula, which is an amazing herb for healing. It's connected to the sign of the sun. I wanted to use that specifically because it's connected to positive vibrations, but also it's connected to things transforming and changing for the better. Clove, which is very, very sexy, a very sexy, warm, spicy scent with rose geranium. It smells like a light rose. It's not irritating. Some people are kind of irritated by the scent of a rose. Interestingly enough, this is kind of less, it shouldn't really irritate your senses. All of my essential oils are completely all natural. So, am I still recording? Yes. Okay. Yeah, all of them are completely all natural and they shouldn't irritate you. And then patchouli oil, which I know I get a lot of hesitation from people that are like, oh, I don't like patchouli oil, it's too strong for me. But if you try just 2 or 3 drops of patchouli oil in a essential oil blend, oh my gosh, it can totally transform the scent and the vibration of that oil without you even knowing that what it is that you're now smelling is the patchouli oil. It just matures it. It's a very decadent, a very earthy, blessed oil. Like it's just like one of the oils that is just so rich for bringing abundance and peace and grounding you, and just positive vibrations all abound. So if you these will be available the 22nd. I don't have any in the shop right now. They're completely sold out from the last moon and the last intention that I made, but they'll be available the 22nd. So if you want to, you can visit the shop, which is at BehatiLife.com. Those links will be in the comment, or those links will be in the bio below, or you can also check out the Etsy shop. You can search BehatiLife on Etsy or Behati Body and find it. Okay, guys? So thank you so much. I'm sorry that this video is so long, but at the same time, it's a lot of information that I feel like a lot of you have been wanting to know and that you've been feeling but not really sure how to express it, and that's why we're here. Do me a favor. I really, really love the encouragement. I love your comments. I love it when you share my videos. If it really helps you, then absolutely make sure that you subscribe. I'm telling you right now, I'm so committed to the YouTube channel and building this up even further into something that can help more and more people and kind of explain what's going on in our lives in a way that is healing. And great for the greater mankind, okay? So thank you so much again for visiting my channel. Don't forget to comment, rate, like, subscribe, leave comments, ask me questions. If you have any questions, send them over to me and I'll answer them as soon as possible, okay? Thank you again. Love you. Bye.